Hey guys, Adias, and by popular demand, I'm going to show you how I start the gumdrop base kind of thing for my fursuit heads. Before I start, I already went ahead and cut out what I needed to do. First video I did that kind of died, but what I'm using is this high density upholstery foam. You can buy it pretty much anywhere. I get it at Joann's because I find that it's very cheap when you buy it in the store. This is 1/2 inch, so it's not very thick, and typically I use about 2.5 yards to make a whole thing. I don't have enough glue and I don't have enough foam to do a whole head right now, and it's really early. I don't feel like doing a whole lot. So pretty much all you're going to need is foam, a glue gun, obvious glue, a pair of scissors that can cut through foam. Then again, I've used child scissors and that never had a problem. And a marker, preferably a permanent one of a dark color. Pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of foam and you're going to wrap it around your head. Make sure it's not too tight, but it's not too loose, because if it's too loose, it's just going to jump around on your head. It won't fit. And another reason is if you're going to do the moving jaws, like I do, it has to be snug to where your chin touches. This bottom part is going to be on your chin. The top part, if you make sure you cut enough so that it's taller than your head, because you're obviously going to push this in, and you could always cut it off later. So typically what I like to do is cut out a section of foam after I've wrapped it around my head, made sure it was the right size. I take the two ends, the two flat ends, like this, these two edges right here, and glue those together. It takes a while, but after that you get this big pipe. Make sure it fits you, because if not, it will prove to be a pain later on. Once you do this, I gotta take my glasses off. Go ahead and put it on your head, a friend's head, a mannequin head, doesn't matter. Preferably yours, seeing as how you're fitting it to you. And hello, Adias the tube head. By bending this in, pushing this in to the top of your head, take your marker. Ow. Take your marker and make a mark where the top of your head is. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. Okay, so now you have this hideous mark to where the top of your head is. Now you're going to cut above the line. Don't cut off like right where the line is, because sometimes it's messed up. I have learned this the hard way, multiple times. And like I said, you can always trim some off later, but you can't put it back on. Once it's cut off, it's cut off. Music always helps me do this faster, but so doesn't having other people here. Alright. Now we have something that looks like a shorter version of that. So now what we're going to do that we have this shorter, and quick word of advice, you are going to put this over your face a lot. I gotta keep this glued because it's falling apart and it's making me mad. That hurt. Ow. Ow. It's my favorite thing to do though is peel hot glue off my hands. Not entirely sure why. I have a seed germinating on my floor. That's not good. Oh, I need to turn this back to low temp. The high temperature is taking way too long to dry. It's better to use for the foam because it just kind of melts and seeps in and it's more durable, but I'm being very lazy right now. I don't feel like using a whole lot, so because I don't have that much. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take these two middle parts in the very middle and make sure it's as centered as possible. You're going to take these and glue the edges, just a small section in the middle, in the very middle. So I'm about to do that. And I excuse the length of this video because it is very long and kind of boring. This is like my least favorite part of making these. I like this song. Now I'm left with a ring of extra foam. I may be able to actually do some real progress on this head if I can find bigger, thicker chunks. I actually used to have a big wall of foam. I just don't know where it is. Okay. So you should end up with something like this when the glue is dry. Looks kind of like an 8, or an infinity sign, whichever way you want to look at it. Now what I'll do is, and this is the tricky part, because if you just glue these tops together and then start cutting off and making it round to the side, it's going to be flat in the middle, and that just looks bad. To get a perfectly round, you're going to take this middle part and you're going to push this in. And you're going to glue, and you're going to do this on both sides, but you're going to glue this to the middle, and you're going to glue this one into the middle. See how it kind of rounds it out? And you're going to be cutting corners off of these. So let me start getting these corners in here. Originally I was going to make this base with 1-inch foam. I kind of want to, so I may just make a base and sell it if I don't like it for myself. But if I do, I'll wind up keeping it. This is Toby something or the other, right? To hold this. And for you, my dear, who just sent me that wonderful text message, I'm more than happy to do these tutorials. Really, all you have to do is ask me to explain something, and I really don't mind. Okay, so that's what you should have on both sides when you finish. That looks so wrong. It's beautiful. Okay, penis head. I don't even think I could say penis on regular thing, but whatever. Again, being centered is key. The more detail and attention you pay to this, the better your outcome. Ow. Okay, glue my hand to it while I'm at it. Whew. Ow, that burns. Ow. This is the exact same method I used for the Ollie-Roo suit, for those of you who are very familiar with that. And then the Owzie head. It's the same thing. Once I finish this, I'm going to put it back on just to test and see if this top part touches the top of my head. This is the very top, is this piece in here. And the very bottom, like I said, should be your chin. This one feels like it's going to come out small, but I don't know. This will only be the 3rd successful head I've built. total, but only the third successful one. So now we have something that looks like a flower. And I'm going to take my glasses off, put this on. Okay, and this is perfect. This touches my chin, and this touches the top of my head. So it is perfectly measured. Thank you. Alright, now what you're going to do, and this is the part that normally gets most people confused, aside from the pushing the 4 corners in instead of the 2, you're going to take these corners and you are going to cut them off in attempts to round out your head. I pay too much attention to this, and it takes a long time. So this will be the first part 1. I'm going to start part 2 here in just a few minutes. So I will continue rounding off the edges in part 2, and I'll see you there. Thank you.